Welcome to the Howe Bulldogs Coaches Show with Bill Jehling. The Coaches Show is brought to you by Summit Media Service. Now let's join Monty Walker with Bulldogs head coach Bill Jehling.
All right, Coach. Pottsboro, great team last week. You had some opportunities to stay in the game. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, Pottsboro is a very good football team. We knew that going into it. We did have some opportunities early in the game that could have depicted how the outcome of the game could have changed a little bit. But, costly fumble in the beginning and then missed field goal, not scoring when we got in the red zone first or second drive hurt a little bit. But you know what? I tip my hat to Pottsboro. They're a good football team. They're very good. They got a lot of talent on that team. But, I thought our kids played well. I mean, I would have liked to have seen some things differently. But overall, against the number 4 team in the state, I was pretty happy with what we did. It was funny. One of the chain guys working on the side, those are Pottsboro guys. They even said, that this has been the most physical and hardest game that they've watched all year long for Pottsboro. So that's a compliment to our team and our kids.
Caden Harmon's been missing a couple of weeks now. How's the health of your team overall?
That's a good question. Caden's back. He's practicing. I would say he's about 85-90%, which is good to get Caden back on the field. He's a good weapon for us offensively and defensively. We got some key injuries again. Brandon Williams is a question mark for Friday night. We don't know if he'll be healthy. Mason Bearden, I'm sorry if my mind went blank. Bearden will be is iffy right now. He's been out all week with pink eye and the flu. So we haven't had our full team on the field since Bonham, and Bonham's really been the only game that we got our full 28 players ready to go, suited up, ready to go. So it's just been a kind of a whirlwind not having everybody healthy at one time. But you know what, like we always say, next man up, next man's ready to go. So hopefully that will play into this Friday night. Our JV is going to be struggling right now. We've had about 13 out with the flu this week. So it's just been tough luck in the locker rooms, considering we're in the locker room right now. We all might want to put some hand sanitizer on when we leave. But you know what, it is what it is, but we just keep battling, keep going forward.
What's a typical week look like for you? When do you start preparing for the next team, and what's your weekly practice schedule?
Well, we never start preparing for the next team until after that Friday night game. So as soon as really when the last whistle blows of that last game or on a Friday night, that's when we start thinking about the next one, that bus ride home. So, Saturdays are usually we watching coaches report in the morning, and we watch the film from the night before, and then we watch it with the kids, send them home, and then we start game planning and preparing Saturday, Sunday. And our typical week for our kids is Monday during the period is film prep. And installing the game plan. Tuesdays lifting during the period, making any changes to the game plan. Wednesday is our big special teams day, and then fine-tuning the game plan. And then Thursday we lift, and then we do our walk. And then Friday it's game day. But it's usually about a 60 to 70-hour work week for our coaching staff. So I really do tip our hat to our coaches. They do a great job.
Well, finally, we're getting some football weather. It's a little cooler out there. It's what people think of when they think about football. Does that change anything for you in your preparation when now it's a little bit colder weather?
No, football's football. It doesn't change anything. I guess the biggest thing that could come into a factor in game prepping or game plan is the wind. If the wind's going to play a factor, especially in years past we wouldn't say that, being a running ground pounding team, but now that we throw the ball a little bit, wind is a factor. So on game nights before kickoff, I'm looking to see which way the flags are blowing and everything else. So
we're going to take a quick break. We'll talk about Lone Oak when we come back.
Summit Media Service is a full-service photography and video production company offering both land-based and aerial photography and videos and a full suite of post-production services to the Texoma area. Thinking of a promotional video or a highlight reel, perhaps some product training content? We can help for less than you might think. Come check us out on the web at www.summitmediaservice.com.
Coach, you mentioned whirlwind earlier. Let's talk a little bit about Lone Oak. They've had a whirlwind of a week. Their head coach was reassigned, and all of a sudden, former Howe Bulldogs head coach Larry McFarland has taken over, and they've had 4 quarterback injuries. What in the world do you expect to see from Lone Oak?
That's the big question. We don't know what we're going to see from Lone Oak. You can watch as much film as you want. They've been something different every week. Coach McFarland's taken over, and he's a good guy. I know Coach McFarland from East Texas, and he's a good coach. He's going to have them ready to go. So from a game planning perspective, it's kind of like, what do we do? We're just kind of basing it off of what we watched on film, but expecting anything. It's going to be like an X factor. It's just going to be what are we going to see when we come out there. But I do believe it's it's going to be a challenging game. Coach McFarland, he's a good coach. He's going to have those kids ready to go and prepared. But your guess is as good as mine on what we're going to see scheme wise on Friday night.
It's a big game with Lone Oak, and do you treat this kind of as a normal game, or do you bump up the expectations a little bit?
We bump up the expectations. I actually pulled the kids in on Monday when we were watching. First thing we did was watch film, and I kind of broke it down to them, the scenarios and everything else. And I kind of said we're taking it 1 week at a time, one game at a time, and every game from this point out is almost a playoff game for us. We got to win each one of the next two. We got to win the next two to get in for sure, and we got to win one of the next two to be in the dogfight. But if we win out, now you're looking at a whole different scenario, which, we've been saying since the beginning of the year the VA game is going to mean something to us, and it is going to mean something this year. It could mean us playing for a 2 or 3 seed, or it could mean us getting us in the playoffs. So, it's 1 week at a time, one game at a time. Every game from here on out is a playoff game.
I think 2 years ago, if you were projecting looking forward to this particular year and this particular team, I don't think many people would be talking about playoff scenarios and things like that for this group. But here we are. Do you not to get ahead, but how big is this game for you, and how big would this be for your team?
This game is a very big game for us. I mean, honestly, the next 3 games on our schedule, the last 3 games, are all huge games for us. They all have some kind of impact on our season. And yeah, I agree. Nobody would have ever thought we would be in the playoff hunt this year. And, the fact that we are in the playoff hunt is a big credit to our senior class, big credit to our coaching staff and our kids for just buying into the program and just keep battling through all the adversity that they've had to face. But yeah, every game is huge right now, and it's going to be a big one this Friday night. We got to take care of the first one.
Like we said, at every home game, you need to be there. We need everybody to show up, especially now that it's getting close to playoff time, and Howe needs a big crowd, needs you there. So if you can be there, be there. If you can't, if you're out of town, listen to HoweEnterprise.com. We'll have the game live for you, and you can also pick it up inside the stadium, so bring your headphones, 99.9 FM. For everyone who's been a part of this one, I'm Monty Walker, and we'll see you next week.